Hey, guess what? We're live.
Hey, guess what? It's just the Sky Kid. It's Thursday night, and the video previous was the live performance of this band, Full Risk, all the way from Minnesota and Texas and Nevada. But anyways, we'll just centralize you as Minnesota because I believe that's where you left off to go on tour. They are on tour. They're in Chicago tomorrow at Liars Club. So if you liked what you saw, you can check them out live. I promise that because they'll have more space, it will be far more interactive. You'll be able to jump around, slam, dance, that sort of thing. So how about we start with introductions, your name, and what it is you do in said group. Boom.
My name's Robert. Rhythm guitar, some harmony vocal.
Ready? Boom.
I'm Dustin. I'm the lead singer, lead guitar.
Boom.
I'm Matt. I play bass.
And boom.
I'm Bob. I play drums.
So how about we talk about, since you've tagged on a lot of your Bandcamp, Facebook, etc., that you're in multiple different areas, let's talk about that. You both are from Minnesota, correct?
Correct.
I live there. I'm not from there.
Okay.
Right.
Currently, you
Currently-
reside there.
I reside there.
Nevada.
I live in Las Vegas.
And
San Antonio, Texas.
all right, so talk to us about that. How did this come to be with being all over the place?
How did it start?
Well, I was in a band with him back in the day.
2002.
2002.
Started,
Successful. Called the Buzzkillers. I left that band and moved on to the next chapter. Moved to Las Vegas. I was in a band with one of his friends, Shane, and he passed away, and that kind of united us.
Yeah, we became really good friends after Shane passed. We were already good friends, but then
Yeah. I met this guy at work. And we just started playing music. And so one day all our members quit. So I asked. I was like, hey, maybe I can get some of my old band back together. This guy I know has been wanting to play music for a while, so I brought him back into the band, and
It worked out.
everything worked out.
yeah.
So how does that work as far as practice goes if you're all over the place?
Telepathy.
That's the best answer ever.
No, you can do a lot over the internet.
Yeah. These days it's easy to do. You just you have your songs that are recorded, anything that's recorded, and you just send them and make sure that they learn their parts.
Well,
Right.
let's make sure that we add an asterisk then. It works if the people who are invested in the group actually practice.
Care.
Right?
Well, with every band, you need everybody to be invested, especially if you're going to be traveling to make it work.
Dedication is the key.
Yeah.
So, are there times throughout the year that you folks travel up so that you can practice as a whole group, or
Usually, it's when a show or tour is getting set up. We know that we have to be there a few days before to come.
Yeah,
And we'll do if we can, we do lock the basement door and just kind of get as high as we can.
We're trying to show up. We fly in 2 days, 3 days early, work on new stuff, make sure we remember the old stuff, and then we're ready to go.
Take it on the road.
how does that work as far as making sure that you have the appropriate gear to play? Do you have all of the gear and they just fly in, or how does about the logistics?
Well, this guy's rich.
we actually have gear.
Bye, boo.
No, we have gear in every city. Like earlier this year, the guys came to Las Vegas, and we did some shows downtown during punk rock bowling.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And I have everything in my house. I have drums. But we have,
and you're
but
pointing
so
at
do
other
we,
people.
so-
that are rich.
no, we have everything we need in
In
San
three different
Antonio,
spots.
San Antonio, yeah.
and in Rochester. So we have
Yeah.
gear wherever we go.
That's awesome.
It works out somehow.
That's great.
It's really good having 3 home bases, actually, and it's a little bit harder with the traveling aspect. But when me and him fly into Rochester, from Rochester we can go Minneapolis. Like we were in Iowa.
He goes, where were we?
I don't know.
Nebraska,
I
Iowa,
tried-
Minneapolis,
Yeah,
all of
we
it.
did Omaha. And then when we were in San Antonio.
We can do a Texas tour and the hub is at.
Yeah, we're booking in January. These guys are coming to Vegas, and from there we're gonna go like Phoenix, Bullhead City, Yuma, San Diego, Los Angeles. So having 3 home bases is actually kind of an advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Yep,
I
very
would think
much.
so. It
Very
allows
much
you
so.
to have more I guess, logistical ability
Right.
to
Yeah.
travel.
Flexibility in scheduling.
Yeah,
so to
if you
speak.
use the Skyscanner app, you can get dirt cheap flights, in advance. So
We have a lot of miles.
So you
Yeah.
want to sponsor our next tour,
Somebody-
Skyscanner?
I flew round trip for $80, and yeah, you just book in advance, and then. But we're done traveling in the cold after this one. Fuck,
Come
it's
on.
cold.
Like
You wore shorts today, Matt.
That was a big
Come on.
mistake.
So, because it seems as if you're fairly established, and I admire the ability to have different home bases, because that I think is significant. How long have you guys been a group?
Well, like I said,
August 25th, 2018 was the first time January 26th was the first time of this year. Was the first time we played together as we are
Actually,
in San
and 6
Antonio,
months
Texas.
before that, it was the first time we
Him
had.
and I have been playing together and writing these songs that we play currently for many years. A lot, three years. A lot of the songs that we do play are from an older group that I was in that nothing ever happened. We never got anything recorded, but I wrote all the songs. So some of the songs that we do play, are recycled, but
and actually, one of the songs that we play is from the band that I was in with our old friend.
Oh.
So, and another one of the songs is with these guys, this old band from like 15 years ago.
Right.
So it's funny. We have a lot of new original stuff. We have stuff from my old band, from his old band, and we're just trying to keep this stuff alive, especially for our old friend Shane, who passed away.
Right.
A lot of the stuff, he
Absolutely.
contributed tremendously to, and we want to keep his memory alive, keep his
Absolutely.
music alive.
yeah.
So then, as these four of you, would you say a year?
About
A year, yeah.
Wow. So like shortly after this was established as we're gonna do this, you had reached out to us, because that was
This was
in
barely started.
Yeah,
we
we
had
had
just. I don't even think we'd even played our first show.
No, I
together.
don't
We
think
had-
we had either. We've been planning
We're gonna
this
make
for
it
a long
work.
time. Right, it's gonna happen
It was
if we
just
can help it. So.
like a year ago, over a year ago, you joined because they needed a drummer, and then Dustin asked me about a year ago. He said, "Hey, do you want to? I need a touring bass player because my bass player can't tour." And I was like, "Yeah, I don't give a shit, whatever."
Yeah, why?
And then about a week later, he's like, "My bass player quit. Do you want to just be the full-time bass player?" And I don't have much else going on, so.
So
Right.
are any of you in any other group, or is this the primary focus?
This guy's
I
in
think
the-
just me, right? I'm in a Vegas punk band called Jerk, and
Because
we-
you are.
Yeah.
No.
I think I'm a nice guy.
You are a nice guy.
But we're pretty
we love
active.
Matt.
No, we were a pretty active band. We try and tour a lot, and maybe we'll come back here.
Yeah, you should.
I don't know what we got going on, but we're touring a lot in 2020.
How easy is it, since you are logistically all over the place, to set up a tour? Or do you say, okay, we're going to pick these dates, we're going to make this happen? How does touring then work for you guys? How do you pick your shows, that sort of thing?
It's kind of where like with this tour here, we got your show, and we knew that was gonna happen. So we were like, why don't we just plan a tour around it?
We
Yeah.
built around
We're
it.
gonna come here. I don't want to do a radio interview. Let's just or a over the phone interview. Sorry,
Sorry.
over the phone interview. I thought that just play some shows and
Right.
show up and be rocking.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of how that happened.
We have day jobs too, so we coordinate. Hey guys, when can you take 2 weeks off?
Right.
And then if we can all coordinate that, then we're like, well, where do we want to go? Okay, well, let's work on California, or let's go to Texas, or something like that. So it's a hassle to make it work, but we want to do it.
It works.
And if it doesn't work out, we have sick days.
Yeah, I call in.
And we're not afraid to use them.
That's your God-given right. So where has this tour taken you, or where are you going to go? I know that you started on the 15th, was the day after my birthday that
Okay.
you started with this. So
Happy birthday, right?
There's some
Belated.
cake upstairs in the fridge.
Totally.
Jake's really good at cooking, so go ahead.
Oh.
Don't
and
tell us
enjoy
there's
that.
food upstairs.
Right.
There is. It's in the fridge next to the beer, so if you are hungry, you are able to eat. But start with where you started, where you're going, since after you leave here, that sort of thing.
Local favorites where we started. North Star Bar in Rochester, Minnesota.
And Chars.
No, this tour.
Oh, sorry.
Killer show in
My fault.
Rochester.
Yeah.
That was an amazing show. We had this band,
The Shift.
The Shift, that opened, and they're good friends of ours, and they were really, really awesome.
Yeah.
And
Fun night.
Omaha with
Omaha was-
pinata protest.
Went down
San
to Omaha.
Antonio.
Fucking pinata protest?
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
Yes!
They were
Yes.
Oh!
Yes.
Yeah,
and they're
that
from
was
my hometown,
that was
so
freaking
it's
amazing,
weird
to tell you the
meeting up
truth.
with- Yeah.
That's
that
like
was-
some ranchero shit. I love it.
Oh, it's so
So
good.
big thanks to Lucas in Omaha for giving us that show. It was his birthday. Happy birthday, Lucas. And let's see, what did we do after that?
We went to Minneapolis.
Minneapolis.
Yeah.
Acadia. It was kind of a pickup show. We were gonna have
Wow.
3 days off. We didn't really want to spend that much time off. So we were like, let's just get a show somewhere.
We actually recorded, 7 songs in 2 days?
Yeah, we spent.
That's how we work.
And instead of like playing shows on Monday and Tuesday, which is usually going to be a bust anyway, we just decided to go back home and just did some recording and
We laid all the drum tracks and
have a new album.
2 days, 12 songs, 10 songs.
And then last night, Iowa.
Last time
So
we
we're
played
super
now.
busy, yeah, we're getting used to it.
Iowa, then we're here, and then Chicago tomorrow, and then Waterloo,
Wisconsin.
at the Mode.
Wow.
The Mode Theater.
On Saturday night.
That's that guy from
That
the Fresh
guy!
Menagerie.
Yeah! The
They were
guy!
here a couple weeks ago. The guy who runs that venue.
Okay.
Well,
He drums in a band.
He drums in the Brash Menagerie.
That's the one.
Yeah, we were trying to think of that last week. We were like, who is that venue? Hey, Kiff, we figured out the venue from Waterloo.
We didn't
The
know
Mode.
the guy's
The
The
name.
Mode.
We're
We
playing
didn't
there
know the
on
guy's
Saturday.
name.
We're hanging out there on Saturday.
Right, but they're gonna go play it.
Yeah.
Oh,
On
Yeah,
Saturday
we're
night.
there Saturday. And I'm sorry, I can't remember the other bands we're playing with, but usually when I'm on tour, everything's a blur. I'm pretty
It's
I know that tomorrow you play with
it's a
Beat the Smart
whirlwind,
Kids.
no doubt
Beat
about
the
it.
Smart Kids.
Oh, is that who we're playing? I didn't know.
Yeah, hold on.
Right.
Sorry.
We're gonna look that
I
up
feel
for a
like I should
second.
know this stuff. but-
So here's an important question.
Yes.
Who sets up the tour? Do you all work collaboratively to do that, or does one point person go, I'm gonna reach out and I'm gonna set this up and this is where we're going?
He's really good with words.
Matt seems to be
Wait, what? That doesn't answer my question.
Matt. It's Matt.
It's Matt.
Well, because I'm in the other band, Jerk, the singer for Jerk, Josh, he is really great with working and stuff, and he's helped out tremendously. And fortunately, I know I was able to get a bunch of contacts being in that band, so I learned how to book a tour, and I just send out 10 million emails and maybe get 3 back.
Right.
And
That's all it takes.
yeah, so I guess I'm doing most of the booking, but we also have Tom down in Arizona. He's helping us out a lot with the next tour in January. Epic 18, great ska band down in Arizona.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tom, for helping us so much.
They're from California. They're not from Arizona.
Well,
Just so you know.
Edit.
Just so you know. You have been corrected.
it's right on the border. Okay.
They're in San Diego. They play.
They are from San Diego. I didn't know that.
Oh, really?
High five for knowing words.
Just
house-
knows her business over here. I'll tell you
Whose
what.
house did I stay in when we played with them?
They do play over in Arizona a lot.
Okay. They also gave us moonshine.
So if you
Yay,
ever
moonshine.
go up, like since you're going to do a left coast tour,
Yeah, left coast. Yeah.
Idaho, there is a band called the Optometrists you should check out. They're super cool, and I hear that, I don't know why, but it's Idaho and Wyoming. There's like, you
We
go out in the
played in
middle of
Wyoming.
nowhere.
We
it's
had
weird.
one of our best shows was a few months ago in September in Laramie.
Yeah.
And
At the
Oh.
Buckhorn.
the Buckhorn Tavern, and that
Place was rocking.
Yeah.
That was fun.
The whole marching band.
The Wyoming
University of
marching
Wyoming
band.
Wow.
Walked
Yeah.
into the bar at the end of our show
Right.
and played 3 songs.
Right.
Yeah.
The whole
It was
band.
like shoulder to shoulder. Their brass is in the air. They're playing
Yeah.
the song.
200 people.
That's awesome.
That was fun. That was fun.
That's yeah. I'm a fan. I'm actually a top fan on their Facebook.
Great. So with that booking aspect of things, do you reach out to venues first to try to secure that? Or are you reaching out to bands to hopefully get into the venue and then you set up the show around that?
It depends who I know in what city, because sometimes you know a band in a city, sometimes you know the promoter, and sometimes you know the owner of the venue. And
Just whoever happens to work out that day. Or
Yeah.
If there's a place that we've heard that we should play,
Mm-hmm.
well, the way I do is I would look at a calendar, if they have anything booked that day. If they do have something booked that day, they need to get up one of the days, or just send them an email and see what they say.
Some of the venues I've played before a bunch of times, so like I know that who to talk to if I want to set up a show. And other times, like you know the band that you played with a couple times, you know, you just hit them up and be like, hey, can you help us out? So
And they're always usually pretty much.
They're pretty gracious, thankfully.
yeah, it just depends.
What has been your experience of dealing with promoters?
He has a story about
Because I
that.
feel like this is a dirty word.
Promoter is a good
Be good.
It's a
man.
love-hate relationship.
Whoa, okay, go on and try to explain, wordsmith.
Here, I got the good one.
We can't burn any
Take the
bridges.
good, you take the bad, you take them all, and there you have.
Right.
There's the facts of promoting. Some promoters are amazing and they really help out, and those are the ones that really love the music,
Right.
and sometimes
Care about the people.
sometimes you kind of get a cold shoulder, and sometimes you feel like promoters are like the gatekeepers of their scene, you know. But in the end,
So
you
be
know,
it.
we're just trying to play,
Right.
and we're gonna
Take what we can get.
yeah. I mean, if people like our music, then
Yeah.
that's all that matters. But some promoters have been amazing, and they help us out every time. I've slept on the kitchen floors of many promoters, and they fed us.
Did you have to pay for that?
Not too much.
I can say this sardonically because I don't know. I feel like we float in a very interesting realm between, you know, I don't know, people call us a promoter, and we're not like any other type of promoter I think that you could meet, because we're not talking contracts, we're not talking that you have to pay us, we're not saying that you have to have X number of people walk through the door in order for us to be considered. We're not vetting you in, like, what is your significance.
Sure.
And so I feel like when I started this, my goal was to kind of bust through the music scene and make it a united front, because if you talk about independent business and you talk about supporting an underground anything, and you want to continue to see things grow, that means that we all have to work together.
Everybody.
And that doesn't mean that my name is in lights, because that's not kind of how that should be. And so we ourselves, even, we have promoters reach out to us and they're like, book my band. And I was like, wait a second, I know that you make them pay you, so no. If the band wants to reach out to us, sure. Otherwise, you're being a dick. And I'm gonna tell you why. And so we've gotten some flack, or like being ignored by people, just because of those aspects, and I'm okay to take those hits, because I feel like it's more important to try to reach out to you all than it is to try to make friends. Like, I'm not about the bourgeoisie. I don't want a status. I don't want to rub shoulders with people who are only about significance because they do something. Because we can all do this.
There's a new generation of music coming. And
Right.
There should be new people moving up in the world, playing music, and not just the same old stuff that's out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, if I could say one thing about the promoter aspect, is that oftentimes I have a lot of friends who are promoters. They really take the risk.
Mhm.
You know, if there's a band that has like a $15,000 guarantee, they're taking that risk out of their own pocket. If they don't sell 15,000 worth of tickets, they make it up. So sometimes they get hit, sometimes they get hurt.
Well,
But
that's just bad business then, because who's paying that promoter? Because oftentimes those promoters are paid by those venues, and that's called a talent buyer. And so they go under this ruse as promoter.
There shouldn't be a band that wants $15,000 that can't bring in $15,000 for the ticket sales.
Right.
I'm just biased.
Right, that's fair.
And rightly so, because at least where we're located, there's a lot of pay to play, and it really bothers me.
That's the whole Midwest.
It bothers me significantly, because there should be never a time where you are taking that risk, because why is there a risk? Art and entertainment does what to our soul, number one, and number two, how do you know you like something if you don't try to do that? But I also take the approach that all of us are responsible for promoting. So I know the resources, I know where to post to make it available on different places, but also that comes from other people buying into that idea of sharing it and doing those sorts of things within their own network too. So like when we book shows, I tell everybody, you don't really have to do anything except have your friends like the page and share the event. We post it on like over 30 free sites where you can, you know, you're on calendars, you're on Shepherd's Express, you're on Kenosha Downtown, you're on the Kenosha News, you're on the Racine Journal-Times, you're in the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. There's a lot of free that you can do. And so when promoters are like, here are these tickets that you have to sell, it's like, wait a second, those people aren't paying out of pocket for that.
Yeah.
The venue is paying them to hopefully draw these people.
Sure.
The spider web is a little bit damaged.
We haven't really had a pay for play.
We've had a couple.
Don't do
I
it.
just don't know because I mean we had a Rochester when we had a pay to play and we actually sold all the time.
And we went above and beyond. So
You didn't notice.
No.
That was your first show with us.
right.
But I think that's the corruption within the music scene.
It
That
is.
There's a lot
I
of
agree.
middlemen that say, "Oh, I can do this."
It's all
for you."
it's not about music. anymore.
That's why the Sunset Strip in LA is dead.
Mhm.
Fucking dead. I mean, nobody plays the whiskey unless their parents buy all their tickets for them. So, I mean, the pay for play shows. And obviously, once in a while they get some good bands that actually, sell that. But
like I said, there's bands that are up and coming that need to be heard, and they have to work their ass off to even get there, and that's what you should do. But
That's what we need to do.
they're not going to sell 20,000 tickets for anybody. You know what I mean? Or even 1,000 tickets.
No.
It's hard to do it $10 a pop.
That is.
Not your first try.
I did one of those deals just to open for my favorite band. So,
Well, explain.
the Lillingtons.
Oh,
That's my favorite.
They reached out to us too.
That's my favorite band, and I did some pre-sale tickets for that, and
That's a situation that I can understand. I just don't, like local bands that are like, hey, this is my show, or
Yeah, if it's a local festival and you're like, you gotta pay us, like that's a problem for me.
and then we don't make any of the money.
I'm not paying to open for my friend Jim. He fucking owes me a favor anyway.
we don't care about money, but we want people to hear our music.
Right.
Yeah, we're really about just getting to the people.
And that being said, you have some things in the works, but you just recently released a single on the 9th, yes?
Lost Cause.
Lost Cause.
We
Yeah.
played that on Tuesday night.
Oh,
And as we were listening, I was like, these guys sound like Alkaline Trio.
Uh-oh.
That song does sound like an Alkaline Trio.
Trio?
With Lost Cause?
Yeah.
Really?
It might be a different one.
Was it Lost Cause?
Maybe it was guilt poisoning.
Yes. Sorry.
There
yes.
you go.
Yes. But
Yeah.
it does sound very much like.
Well, I mean,
Alkaline
you
Trio.
write like your inspirations.
Yeah.
So talk about that. What-
That's this guy.
Yeah, I do.
Dustin's actually
Dustin
the
is
songwriter.
The guy.
I don't know.
I
No pressure.
was like, I want to go to bed. I told these guys they gotta talk.
I like music. I like music that I can write. I don't even have to write it down, and I can hum it in my head. I can say a few words, and then I'll remember it the next day.
Right.
That's the way I write songs. I don't ever write anything down on paper the first day. I hum it back in my head, and I was like, oh, that sounds kind of cool. And of course, you always draw off your inspiration. So Alkaline Trio is one of my biggest inspirations. I have like Sublime or Sublime with Rome or whoever, or also other inspirations. But I don't ever. I always just think of a few words, and I come up with this catchy melody. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. And I kind of vault it in my back of my head. If I wake up the next morning and I remember that lyric, then it's going on paper.
Dustin always says, if you remember it tomorrow, it was worth it.
Yep.
Bob's actually more of a metal drummer.
Yeah. I don't listen to any of the bands.
And
So
But he fits in okay
here's the
somehow.
thing.
And that's another thing that works in our advantage is having
I could tell. Do you know?
is having a drummer who actually is not really into punk or ska, but he's really
Right.
What ska drummer uses a double bass?
Right? One that listens to Tool.
Oh, so you don't even listen to metal? Okay.
yeah.
So what kind of metal?
With like
Tool.
like bands.
That's
My
Tool.
say my top three, right?
And
Like
Tool.
growing up, it was like Tool, Primus, Rage Against the Machine. I never found a band that wanted that inspiration. So when I met Dustin, I noticed that there was a more unique approach to my drumming to his music writing. So he doesn't write like my drums because I always told him like, just give me the creative freedom to do as I please.
I don't tell him to play 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4.
And I can tell watching.
Like, you do what you want to do.
Yeah, like watching other bands. I
adapt.
like that. I know that there's a little bit of a spin-off of my taste in his songwriting. So we've never lost that chemistry. That's why this is what our 3rd or 4th band together or something. So I like that. We argue about music all the time, and I think that adds like a little twist of uniqueness because he hates what I listen to. I hate what he listens to. It's a nice fight, but then when we write, it's like
it's better.
When I'm watching him play drums, like it's not your typical ska drummer or punk rock drummer. It's a different. Yeah, and I think that adds a ton to our music.
Not your typical metal drummer.
Everywhere we go, like, did you see that drummer? He's awesome,
He's off
you know?
in the head.
Well, he ain't right, but he's good.
That was gonna be another question. Is like, how does this music come to be? Like, who is fueling it, and is it a collaboration?
Whoa, man.
I think it kind of starts over here.
I kind of come up with ideas. I have a lot of demons. and those demons come out a lot on paper, and I come up with I like catchy songs, you know. I mean, sometimes they're always not the best worded, or they're not the nicest lyrics, or you know, or the most happiest lyrics, but I feel like the worst lyrics make for better melodies and make for better listening. So I bring my stuff to the table, and I'm like, here man, here's some simple 1 2 3 drums, you do what you want with this song. And let me know how this comes out. And then we write a bass line, and then we write the rhythm guitars, then we write the leads, and then our music comes out the way it does.
And it is.
Yeah.
So this is gonna be full circle then, coming back to like how you practice. So do you then sit down, you write something and send a riff, and then you send it out to them, or how does that work?
Sometimes I get really excited. There's some weekends where I just say I'm drinking, and I come up.
No, not that.
And by some weekends, he means every weekend.
Every weekend. And I
Okay,
come up with this riff, and I'm really excited about it. I'll record it. I have recording software at home. That's how we record all our music.
You'll put it down.
That's how we have recorded all our music.
Yeah.
Right.
And I put it down on track, on paper, or on tape.
On tape.
And then I send it to the guys.
On tape?
So then usually
Messenger tape.
Pro Tools.
Pro Tools,
okay,
right?
okay. I was like, holy shit, this is
No,
way next.
no reel to reel.
No reel to reel.
And what I like a lot is when we meet back up together, I'll usually throw like an idea for an intro or a little idea on the breakdown. And that usually only happens when we are together because I don't know the technology to edit his.
We would be a different fucking band, I think, if we all lived together.
Oh,
Yeah.
If we could, yeah.
That was what our kid asked.
When he has a
Are they
big,
family? Do they have the same last name? Do they live together? I was like, no, go upstairs is the best time.
Because we're all brown, or
I don't know.
I'm pretty
like when
tan white.
when he has a bass line, he'll send me videos of it, and that's how I learn all the songs that he writes. So it works out.
I'm pretty diverse. I like certain grooves, and I like things to fit certain ways, especially when I write lyrics. Things fit around certain things, and if I come up with a guitar lead and then I'm like, I really like this vocal lead, but if Matt writes something that doesn't really fit, I'll just write for him.
Right.
And then he learns it, and then he writes a lot of good stuff too.
Pretty much all the music was written before I joined the band, but we actually are just starting to write together, and I'd say it's hit the ground running.
Next level shit.
Yeah, and I'm really excited about that because actually just like 2 nights ago, the three of us, it was us three. We were just sitting at the house in the cold because it's fucking cold in Rochester, and
Put some clothes on.
I just had.
We were naked writing.
Yeah, I mean, how else?
Again?
How do you write music? We write naked, okay?
Anyway.
But, I threw out a bass line that I had, and he just picked up a guitar and turned it into something else, and then an hour later, all three of us are writing lyrics, so I'm really excited to see what we can do when we start collaborating together. I think there's a lot in store for Fallers.
Yeah,
We're hopeful.
what is in store? Because you said you laid down a whole bunch of new tracks.
We have the next album we're putting out is the old band that I was in with our buddy Shane.
Yeah.
Was called Dogfight Diary, We had tons of killer material, like just great songs. We always got told they were great. It was just amazing. It never got recorded. Luckily, I have a partner in Vegas who remembers all this stuff, but I remember a lot of the songs. We still play them. But we're doing an album of just those songs.
Right.
We're gonna do an album of just the Dogfight songs. We'll entitle the album obviously
Right.
Dogfight Diary, and then after that it'll be brand new material. We have studio time in January in Las Vegas
For Fall Risk.
for Fall Risk.
Yeah, we're gonna record at Digital Insight with our friend Mike Lavin, and that's probably the best studio, in my opinion. I think it's the best studio in Las Vegas, and we're gonna be recording in February. And not sure what we're gonna do, just get the songs done and see what kind of how we're gonna release them. You know.
Bring some material to the table.
Yes.
Go from
So
there.
if Mike Park is listening, hi.
Yeah. Anybody that wants to release some songs, because we got no money, that's for sure.
But we have good songs.
Right.
I agree with him.
Dan Pothouse watches our show. Do you know who that is?
MU330.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kid
I
Guy.
just bought bought his little. He had some vinyl releases.
Yep.
He did the 4 package, and then he drew a little picture, and then he autographed it. I bought that.
I met him in Sheboygan because a lot of the bands we were talking about, this guy who runs record label hosted. He was doing just a basement, like U.S. tour. So he came in and he played in their basement with the Jetty Boys, and we had dinner and we watched.
Yeah, it was his living room tour.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Yeah.
And then a couple years later, Kiff got to play on stage and play Dan's guitar with them, and he had never heard MU330, and he stood up there and just fucking.
We played.
It was great.
We played him and I. He probably doesn't remember, but we played back. I think it was 2002, 2003. Played Sky's Dead, and MU330 was on that tour.
Wow.
Streetlight was on that tour.
I do remember that.
The Suicide Machines were on that tour.
Ooh.
So I've known Dan for a long time.
I mean,
Not personally, obviously, but
you're just a messenger.
I'm just a messenger.
But that leads
He's a beautiful man.
to a very important question, and I know if you have watched the show, that this is like a soapbox issue of mine. Since you have music out there and available, are you using a distributor? And with this new music, are you choosing to use a distributor?
We
Where's my
released
ruler?
we released our first album ourselves, and we used an online distributor, which is DistroKid.
Right, so you don't own the publishing rights. No.
Correct.
That was the EP, right?
The
The
first
first one.
The 5 songs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the only one we did.
Yeah.
The next one we recorded, the one that I gave you, we all did at our house too, and I mixed everything.
Yeah.
And it's not up to where we want it to be.
Yeah.
So we're gonna re-release it, mixed by somebody else, and then we're gonna try to get.
Oh, it was.
Are you saying you gave us a half-ass copy of shit?
Yeah, that's what you got.
No.
No,
We gave
no.
it our maybes.
no, it just needed a professional
Just
touch.
need to go-
It's a great
Because
album.
Step
songs
it up
on there
a
are too
notch.
good to be mixed by somebody who doesn't really know what they're. I mean, I know what I'm doing, but I just don't. I'm not.
Well, look,
professional.
Why do you have to be professional? Do you
No,
like
no.
the way it sounds?
Rule number 1: after
Oh.
you record an album yourself, if you record an album yourself, do not mix it yourself.
Yeah.
That's just you
Agreed.
can't. You just
Feel like
can't.
all the guitars
You
need
have
to
to
be louder.
You have to
drums
have-
need to be louder.
You have
bass
to
needs
have
be
a
louder.
third-party professional do the mixing because
Yeah.
after you spent 1,000 hours on these songs,
The
You've
guy
heard it.
that you're gonna go play. So Waterloo, okay?
yeah.
What is it?
This guy who runs that venue
Yeah.
does that.
Well, we
Well,
have
more
that.
power to him, but
Yeah,
it
we
didn't
found.
work for us.
You
So
got-
we sent a couple of our songs over to this guy who his name is Jeff Lean, and he runs Edgewater Studios
Out of Rochester.
out of Rochester. He messaged me and he's like, hey, I'm trying to get my business started, and I've been doing this for 20, 30 years, and give me a couple songs and I'll mix them and see what you think. And I sent him a couple songs and we were just blown away.
Came
Yeah.
back.
That's how Lost Cause and that new Guilt Poisoning that you
Yeah.
Right.
you heard.
So Lost Cause is available on our website, and that is a Dogfight Diary song from years ago, and that is going to be released when when those songs are finished. It's going to be hopefully maybe within 2 months or so.
Yeah.
But that's going to be the Dogfight album, and everything else on that website is the EP.
Yeah.
Our website, officialfallrisk.org.
.org.
Officialfallrisk.org.
What is the goal of this group? What
Oh.
would you like to see happen? Like
Oh, my.
where do we go from now?
Where can it go? That's all we're wondering. Where
Look.
can it go? And we're in.
I'm just doing this to get rich. So I don't know about these guys, but I am 100% ready to sell out right now. Okay.
You know what? I
Cut
agree.
my hair.
Yeah.
I agree with him in that aspect of it. Yeah, if the people are gonna throw money at us for doing
Yeah,
Right.
give me money.
We'll take it.
Look,
All
I-
right.
You ain't strippers, calm
I
down.
have a kid.
But at the same time, I feel I put a lot of heart and passion into my music.
Right. It's
So
still.
when I write lyrics, they're not something that just somebody can come and write. And I think about my lyrics, so I do want people singing along at my shows.
If anybody wants me to wear a shirt that says anything,
I have a
look,
shirt.
I will sell
Well,
out
we should
right
see,
fucking
we should
now.
see if it fits him. He could wear it. It'd probably be a tube top.
Yeah,
It says,
whatever.
It says American Whore.
I don't care. I don't care. Pay me. I got bills.
Matt.
I just want to
No,
It's all good.
Yeah, I think we just want to play. I think we love the music that we're playing.
We just want to play.
That's why
We
this guy
just want to play.
Here's a tough
he's
question
traveling from
then.
Texas.
Oh no.
Here's a tough question then. Where is the line drawn between integrity and selling out?
How much money are we talking?
Oh, why is money the end all be all?
No,
It's
mine
not.
is more creative.
It's not at
freedom.
all.
Any band I've ever-
Creative freedom.
Yeah.
If we can
Yeah.
play what we want to play
Especially-
and make money,
yeah.
that's good.
That's
If
what it
they're
comes
gonna
down
start telling us what to do and what to play,
Makes it
I-
tough.
I'm lucky to have a job where anytime I'm not playing music, I can go home and make money. So for me, it's more about enjoying what I do, loving the music that I play, and that's why I travel all the time. I travel to Minnesota all the time.
Yeah.
This guy's traveling from Texas to do this, and if we go anywhere else, we're all traveling. So
Right.
we bite the bullet, and we do it because we actually do love playing the music that we play.
Yeah, we're not getting any richer at the moment, but that explains .org.
So
Nonprofit
let's
organization.
pick you then and whore yourselves out. Where can
Yeah.
people find you online and what merch do you have available? And 3-part question, shows.
Shit.
you're good with.
Oh, okay,
free parts.
okay.
First, they can find you where?
Facebook at Fall Risk Music, I think is how you find us on Facebook.
Instagram.
On Instagram, it's
Official
official_.
Fall Risk.
Fall Risk, I think.
It is.
It is? Okay.
All
And
right, there you
then
go.
we just actually launched our website like 2 weeks ago, which we're actually very proud of. It turned out well. Our buddy Pip from Vegas band Franks and Deans, he does web design. Pip.
It makes me think of Midsummer Night's Dream.
Really? It makes me think of Adam Sandler in Airheads, the drummer.
That's where I was.
Yeah.
Okay.
This
I
album,
went way literature
Yeah,
with it.
yeah, no.
Thanks, Shakespeare.
this
Never
album would be
mind.
Pip farting on a snare drum for all you care. I ain't farting on no snare drum, man. Anyway, thank you, Pip. He made our website officialfallrisk.org, and as far as like merchandise, we haven't set up an online store yet. We will soon, but if you do want merchandise,
I designed it all.
Hit us up.
yeah,
And the album cover. So.
Hit us up.
really just message us, I guess, if you
Just
want
hit us up if
shirts,
you want
CDs.
anything.
We have some really cool hats made by our friend.
Yeah, pimp your friend. You wanted to
Here's
talk
here's
about
our friend. Gone.
beanies.
Gone.
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 And our buddy in Rochester, he knew it was cold and we were going on the road, and he just showed up and gave us some hats
Yes.
because it's cold
Good
out
guy.
there.
Great guy.
He knows that I don't like the cold, but really check out Gone Clothing.
Yeah, Gone Clothing.
Yeah, he.
Rochester, Minnesota.
A few people, so we announced that, you can stay tuned and blah, blah, blah on Sunday night, watch for Fall Risk. And somebody at the bar on Sunday night was like, that's what happens around this time of year. It's cold and there's a fall risk.
Right.
Oh my goodness.
We're promoting safety.
That's how we got the name. We
You tripped on some ice?
no. At
Well, you
first,
could.
when Fall Risk first started, we all worked at the hospital.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
And so we're like, oh, that'd be a cool hospital name that we could all have Fall Risk, because you have the little
You have a wristband
Yeah.
that says Fall Risk for
Yeah.
your
So that's kind
surgery
of how we got our
patients.
name.
I like.
It's kind of fucked up.
For me,
People like it.
I don't like it.
what I like is I feel like it's a reference to my favorite movie, Falling Down. Because you never know when someone's gonna snap. I might be a fall risk.
Right.
Ah. And then tomorrow night you can catch them at Liars Club.
Liars Club, Chicago.
Chicago.
So then you have what? So if people are watching this and they're like, I'm gonna go to that show, what can people buy from you there? What do you have right
Shirts, hats. We got some.
now? You got hats?
Yeah.
Women's
You got
grades.
pullovers?
We have pullover.
We have women's panties.
Hoodies.
We have
Panties?
We have panties.
Yes, panties,
Yeah.
hoodies, CDs. A koozie? Are we out of
We're
that?
gonna set up a kissing booth.
Baso. That's how you say kiss in Spanish. Baso?
Beso.
Beso. There you go.
Yeah, you're close.
I'm sorry. Did you call me white? I'm okay with that. Actually, it's called Peggy Hill Spanish. That's what my other friends
Sorry,
call me.
gringa.
I know.
It's
It's
okay. I mean, we're in Kenosha, right?
Right.
I
And we
went to a
usually-
home tonight that is a dual language home, and so I work in foster care. The kid that they have, is 2. They're trying to teach English, and they're incorporating Spanish, and so they're like, it's beso?
Beso.
Beso? So they're like doing this to him, and so that's what he thinks. He like does that and says it, and I was like, teach him more Spanish. So, yeah.
Right.
And we'll give you a deal on anything you want to
Right.
buy.
We practically give away our
We
shit.
give away a lot
You
of
need
shit.
gas money. So.
You guys were fucking trying to give all of your shit to me.
We
We
only
have
offer us
manners,
$5.
too.
That's
They're
not
bad
really.
whores when you pay people, and they're like, no.
That shows it's not about the money.
Also, Bob does tattoos.
Right?
Yeah, if anyone
Yeah.
ever wants one. That's how this started too, because I had the availability to go to where, hey, we need a drummer. Yeah, so if anyone wants a tattoo, Instagram is BobRules82.
Well, I'm signing off because I gotta go to the bathroom.
I do
All
too,
right.
actually.
Wait, time out. You can hold it for
Sit
just one
down.
other second.
I've been holding it for a while.
This is wait. Let's end it then. This is Fall Risk. You can catch them at Liars Club tomorrow night. They do have merch available. Check out their Facebook,
mode.
their Instagram. What?
The
And
mode.
the mode.
And the
On
mode at
Saturday
Waterloo,
Waterloo.
Wisconsin. On Saturday. I know, I'm trying to talk really fast because you gotta pee. You're acting
Go
like a
down.
5-year-old. Anyways,
gonna
they
pee
have
now.
a new website, Fall Risk. Check them out.
Officialfallrisk.org.
.org.
.org.
It's not a .com.
We're not the fake ones.
Alright, it's time to go pee. Okay, thanks. Bye!
Come on and